Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Reservations Podcast. I'm Jessica Kupferman. With me always is the other person that always has reservations, Melissa Brilliant.
Greetings. Hey, Jess.
How you doing, Missy?
I'm doing great. How are you doing? How you doing?
Great. I'm doing a lot better now that I'm talking to you, actually.
Aww. Is it yesterday's weather that has you in the dumps?
Yesterday,
rain?
I was at a funeral, so that did not help.
In the rain?
I know. You know what? I'm trying to think. Did it rain at my mother's funeral? No, actually, it was a beautiful day. My mother died. Somebody else's funeral or memorial was a horrible rainy day. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Yes, in the rain. It was Emily and Nathan's grandmother. Their mom, Gail, died. Rob's mom. And I really liked her. She was a cool chick. As John would say, we should pour one out for Gail. I used to love when you would do that on our other show, John. John would do a drop where you can hear beer pouring into her glass. That's the one. You gotta pour one out for Gail.
Gail, Jean, like what's
Gail
going on?
Thompson,
This is the worst.
Who, I know. And I think the rest of the family feels a little cursed.
Yeah, but she had to watch her son die first.
And her granddaughter, her favorite.
And her granddaughter. And then that's the worst.
Emily was her favorite grandchild because Rob was her favorite child. And unlike most parents, she did not hide she was blatantly like, Rob's my favorite. He's going to always be my favorite. And then when Emily was born, she was like, classy. Emily is my heart. She would always go, I love all my grandchildren, but Emily is my heart.
Oh.
She said it all the time. So, no, she did not have proper blood flow to her stomach. And so she was getting more and more and more. She's been sick for 2 years.
Wow.
On and off. She's such a sweet lady. And I don't think probably no one realizes that when I first married Rob, we were in an apartment. And I was pregnant when we got married because that's why I married Rob. And then,
some of us realize that. Some of us were at your wedding.
I mean, people listening, dude.
Some of us are at the wedding.
But I don't know if you realize that we didn't have enough money to pay for an apartment. I ended up living with her and living in her basement. And
with the baby.
And Emily had terrible, terrible colic. And like she and Louie, Rob's stepdad, would go to work. And I mean, all day long, I would just pray for them to come home just so I could have someone to talk to. Because Rob was working like 18-hour days. Sometimes he would work nights and sleep all day. I had no one to talk to all day. All my friends were like traveling and interning and finishing college or just finished college. And, think about what you were doing that year. That was 1997.
But being young and
in
being
New York
single.
City, living with Crit, sniffing it up, So, smoking it up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't either. But I was not doing any of those things. And so she was all I had. When I first got a job, I couldn't afford work clothes. She gave me clothes to wear. I went to work dressed as a 56-year-old woman. My first day of work, I'm dressed in like an oversized sweater and a big skirt because we're the same size, even though, we obviously wouldn't have dressed the same, but I had no money right down to the bra. She gave us a wedding ring. She gave me everything that first year with Emily. And, it was hard yesterday. Like I went there to pay tribute to her and I even got up and said something because most of her family's like too shy to talk.
Luckily you don't have that problem.
But then, right. And actually neither does Nate or Rob because all three of us talked at the funeral. Oh my God, Melissa, Nathan made everyone stand up and do the mourner's Kaddish for her.
Are you serious?
And I was like, I could not tell if I couldn't stop giggling. And Scott was like, it's a funeral, stop laughing. And I'm like, he's doing the mourner's Kaddish. This is the first and last time Hebrew will ever be said in this church. I mean, it was a church.
So how many of you participated? Church. That's crazy.
Every single one. It was the three of us going, the three of us were the ones saying amen and, Baruch, whatever. But like everyone else just stood there and then they clapped for him when it was over, which is a little bizarre because it's a mourner's Kaddish.
Right. But I mean, this is what had meaning to him. He needed that. And it was pretty beautiful. Amazing for him to even look. I heard him speak at Emily's memorial. For him to come out and speak and to share, it seems like it's a lot for him to do that. So to stand up at a church and do it.
He not shy whatsoever. I mean, and then Rob actually, he did much better at his mother's funeral than he did at Emily's. Like He talked about her and his first experience with music because of her, and watching his father's face light up when she would sing, and like he did much better at Gail's funeral than he did at Emily. And Emily's, he mostly did a whole thing about himself.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
This time was better. But anyway, so like, I mean, all through that I was pretty good. But then they did a video. And when they did the video, every picture of her I saw, I realized I have zero memories of this woman that don't include Emily. Every single memory from the moment I met her, I was pregnant.
Right.
To the moment she passed, you know, after working with me so much to try and get Emily to, like, be healthy and sane and okay, like, oh my God, it overwhelmed me. And so I had to leave in the middle of the video because I was crying my fucking eyes out. And then Nate came out and like hugged me. And then, I don't know, I've just kind of been, something's happening to me. I have been okay since she died, except for the last, I would say, couple like weeks, like maybe since October. I don't know if it's like as the weather gets cold or what, but I'm starting to feel this strong, like, I don't wanna feeling. And I've never had that before, kind of ever. I mean, when my mom died, actually I did for like 3 months and then it went away.
Well, then hold on for 3 months because this seems to be the way you mourn. I mean, this might be something that needs to run its course.
Maybe
doesn't matter.
You think maybe I've just been ignoring it up until now.
I would definitely say that you've been ignoring it up until now. I mean, I don't know, ignoring is the right word, but like maybe postponing or giving it a nod and acknowledging, but not
pushing it away. No, I've been.
You need to merit
your
right, so you can't do that, or it's catching up to you. You can push it away. You can continue to do that forever, but it seems to be catching up to you.
I shouldn't wake up in the morning and eat breakfast and then look at my computer and go, ugh.
Why? Everybody does that. Why should you be any different? Sure, John does that.
This is a life that I've very deliberately chosen.
And created, and worked carefully etched.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, imagine if Stuart, remember when he very first bought like urgent care and he was working that? Imagine if like a week later he came up to you and was just like,
I'm done. I
just don't feel like doing it.
What have I done?
Would you be like, oh my God, what? You know? That's
you brought us all into this.
Yeah. 12 years of me having my own business. 4 years of me podcasting, only for me to just be like, ugh. I can't. Like, that's not.
No, this is a phase.
My head doesn't really feel that way. It's my heart.
It's a phase, Jess. It's just it's the same way last week we talked about you poking at your husband with verbiage. This is just something that's you need to ride.
By the way,
that you were poking the bear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I knew I was doing it, which is why I didn't get angry.
Shocker. Yeah. This is something you're going to need to ride through. But the fact that you're acknowledging each of these yes, Fet is right. But the fact that you can recognize and acknowledge all of these feelings is it's the beginning. If this were just going on and you stayed in bed and pulled the covers over your head, you're identifying everything that's happening to you right now. You know it. You're calling it. It's what's happening. And it's going to make it much easier to ride this wave. I don't know how long it's going to last, though.
You know what the most annoying part is? I think I know what it is. I think this is the part I'm struggling with the most. Now you're my therapist. Let's just go with it.
Do it. Therapy.
Well, my mother died. When Gail died, when most people die, you can verbalize definitively who that person was to you, what they meant to you, what you learned from them, what they would like or not like. I don't feel like I know her because of her mental illness. There are so many stories that I've gone to retell that I've had to think, oh, that was probably bullshit. That was probably in her head. So or like I'll go to look at someone and be like, oh, there's this one friend she had in middle school, Megan, like Megan's mom called me a cunt. Megan's mom said this. Megan's mom made me feel like shit. Megan's mom threw things at me. And I'd be horrified. I'd be like, what kind of adult treats a middle school? What kind of lunatic? Oh.
Probably not true.
That was bullshit. That was in her. Probably was true to her. To her that happened. To her that was real. she may not have thrown things, whatever, but like in her head, Megan's mother was thinking this and feeling it, and Emily could feel that from her.
Maybe. I mean, maybe she was, but all of these other people.
Right. It doesn't matter if it was true. But
right.
But now it does. Now that she's gone, it does, because now I don't know how to feel about anything. And it sucks.
Jessica, all the other people you described as having passed away, and you can define your relationship and what they want, they were much less complicated than Emily as people. They were very simple. The roles they played in your life, they were all very simple relationships. And you've said it 1,000 times. Emily was much more complicated than that. There was just depths and highs and lows. And you're right. I mean, mental illness played a part. Substance abuse played a part. It's a much more complicated relationship, which is why it's not going to take 3 months to get through. You were with her from day one. You didn't raise grandma. You didn't raise your mother. You didn't raise.
No, you're right.
So it's just a much more complicated relationship. It's you're going to have to, this is the rest of your life, babe. This isn't, well, for 3 months I was upset, and every once in a while I still wish I could share something with my mom and call her and tell her. She'd be really excited to, this is it. This is a much deeper, much more complicated, much more emotional. And yeah, you have for the last 9 months kind of, I'm not going to say ignored it. You've definitely talked about it. You've definitely shared about her and with other people, but on a level that hasn't gone as deep as it seems that you're starting to delve into.
So speaking of mental illness, actually, her dad yesterday was in full mania form, which I actually hate, because this only happens to him at these types of occasions. So the dad has, I don't remember what kind of medication he takes. It's some kind of like, I don't want to embarrass him. Whatever. He's never going to listen to this. He's too self-involved. I think he takes some kind of antipsychosis, and I could be wrong, but it may also just be for manic depression. And he was in full mania, because like yesterday I go to hug him and he's fine, but he's like obviously performing, obviously like over positive, laughing, upbeat. I'm fine today,
man. So uncomfortable.
He was like, I'm fine. Everything's great. Everything's good. And then his brother my ex-sister-in-law tells me later, like he was all broken up at the church service earlier that morning. But and I didn't really see him break up during the memorial, but like when he does this, even when we were married, he like purposefully is shutting me out. So like, for example, I come to hug him and he's like, I'm cool, man. Everything's cool. It's all good. It's good. And then, we start talking about, cause he had the gastric sleeve. He's lost 100 pounds.
Wow.
And so he looks really good. And he's like, yeah, I look good. I can finally see my dick, and like, I feel good, and like, everything's good. And this is the diet, and this is what you do, and this is how it works. And I know how it works. So I'm just like listening and like, whatever. And then, I go to, Nate stands up and I see him at the table being like, that's my boy. That's my boy. Like, he's all sexual chocolate, and it's like, it's a funeral.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
And then,
rein it in, my friend.
They clap and then I got up and he kind of acted like he didn't know me, because I was like, is it okay if I say something? And he's not even looking at me. So Beth is actually his girlfriend's actually the one that's like, yeah, say something. So I say something about his mother, and then like I sit down, and then he got up and said something, and it was this whole like, Gail wouldn't want us to cry. She would want us to celebrate her life. She did everything her way. And it was beautiful, but it was very positive, which is great. But then he went, like, after the service, it was all over and everyone's eating, he like held court at a table of like what I now know was his ex-girlfriend from high school, which I didn't know at the time. All his high school friends. And I mean, he did not let them get a word in edgewise. He was talking the entire time, making them laugh. He was like talking with his hands a little bit. And like, I was just like, oh my God, you can't even say like, I'm so sorry for your loss. 'Cause he's just like way past it.
Well, he's not past it. It's how he's dealing. And that's just as disturbing as any other specific way of not dealing.
Man,
I mean,
it is tough. It was tough to be around that. And I already feel, I never felt like I fit in with that Did you hear a honk?
No, I did not.
Didn't hear anything.
I did not hear a honk.
I swore I could have heard a car honk. Anyway, that was so weird. Now I'm manic. No,
John has his work cut out for him on this one.
I'm sorry. It's already a dumpster fire. I always felt like an outsider around those people because, you know, it's not just about not being Jewish. I'm not only just the only Jew, but I've also been like, I don't know. They all grew up really tight. Like my sister-in-law, the people who put on this memorial is Michael, like his younger brother, Michael's wife, her sister, her best friend, and they've all been neighbors and friends since they were like 4. And they never really deviate outside that circle. So imagine trying to fit in with that kind of family where it's like they've already like been together until the beginning of time, you know, since the beginning of time. And they're all blonde. They're all from Newcastle. It was just weird. It always felt weird. Like here I am, some like Jewish princess from, you know, the DC area. I think I'm the only one that went to a 4-year college. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that went to a 4-year college out of them. I just always felt like I didn't belong. And Rob, I saw yesterday how Rob contributed to that by pushing me away and making faces at me like I was weird the whole day. Like, sure, you can speak. I don't care. Do whatever I don't know you. It was kind of like that. And I realized he did that to me all through our marriage. Always was like I could just hear him when I sat down. I could hear him talking to his brother like, no one likes you. No one wants you to hear what you have to say. No one, because that's how this kind of shit he used to say to me when we were married.
You had flashbacks.
Yeah, kind of. And it was bizarre, but like, I don't know. I still didn't feel like I fit it. You know, she was the oldest of 9 or 10. They all grew up in like Tennessee, like Boones Creek, Tennessee. Like,
Jessica, it sounds like you have a hint of PTSD from this whole wedding, marriage, this whole marriage family thing you had. But if I had to think of a community where it was okay to feel like an outsider, I think that's it. I think you just named the perfect place to feel like an outsider. I think that says a lot about you in a good way and really nothing great about them.
No, I know.
I would love to be an outsider in that group.
Perfectly nice people. It just like never felt comfortable, and I see how he contributed to that, and I wonder how much he contributed to that for my kids. Like Nate is oblivious, like he doesn't care that he's different. He celebrates that. Emily was the opposite. Like she hated being different. She hated having, I think, a Jewish, you know, I think she just they accepted her just fine. It was her inner turmoil. It was her stuff. Like she, during her last like couple years, she would always say how her Uncle Mike and Aunt Amy hated her, didn't want her around. And then finally, when Emily was like sick, I texted Amy and Michael and I was like, listen, you may have some issues with Emily, but she really needs support. And they were like, what issues?
What are you talking about?
No idea what I was talking about.
Right.
No idea. So anyway, I mean, it was just bizarre, but like, yes, you're right. It is good to be an outsider in a hillbilly world, I guess, right? Like,
yeah,
I don't
not
mind
a place
that
where you want to feel like you really fit in and belong. You want to feel like you can go, pay respects, and have moved on. If that were happened with, my brother-in-law
looked like he was going to dinner at the beach. He was wearing like shorts and a polo yesterday.
Yeah, if this happened with Scott's family, I would tell you, feeling like an outsider there is something you need to work on. These are relationships. This is not. This is the place where it is peachy keen to walk away and feel like I do not belong there, and have it not be I don't belong there. Oh, but look at me getting in my car and driving out of here. I do not belong there. That's pretty decent.
There's plenty of non-Jews in the D Sharps. I've never had an issue not belonging to those people.
I don't think it has to do with religion.
The Criscolos and the Laspadas and the
Grays.
Are there any other non-Jews besides them? I don't think so. Wait.
No, the Grays. The Grays, the Hutchins, yeah.
Yeah. All really, you're right.
And they're family. They're all family.
Yes,
and some of them are even religious. Like the Laspadas are religious friends of ours.
Yes,
which are they? Catholic? They? I don't know.
Yes. So, Italian Catholic, definitely.
So they are very religious, and I love that about them.
Yeah.
And it's
definitely not religious. It's cultural, and it's weird.
Right. That's what it is. It has nothing to do with religion. These are our closest friends, and they came to our B'nai Mitzvah last year, and we're like, tell me, what is happening now? Afterwards, I definitely convinced some of them that after sitting through a 2-hour service, they have been converted and they are Jews now too.
Yeah, that's
but
the rule.
They didn't buy it, but that's okay. But Amy Consiglio left that service and she said, I just learned about the 36 righteous people. There's a story I won't go into, but she just learned something, a fun, super cool story that kind of gives you faith in humanity. And she walked away with that. And if she walked away with nothing else other than sore feet from wearing fancy shoes.
She might be one of those people, Annie.
Who might?
Annie.
Annie actually might be one of the righteous. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, she might be.
Yeah.
I could see it.
I could see Annie being one of the 36 righteous people.
Now
nobody knows what we're talking about. Now
they came out with a whole TV show. There's a show called Kevin Probably Saves the World that's on right now. That's on TV.
The 36 righteous people?
Well, it's funny because it starts out by saying something's off in the world. The 36 righteous are no longer, and this guy, who happens to be, I think, John Ritter's son, has to go and embrace the 36 righteous people. And I thought, I've heard that before. And it's because Amy left our service and said, here's what I learned today. And I thought it was super cool that that's actually a real story. And it's now a TV show, but it is
cool.
Can't get into
so
the
show.
Concept
is just that there's 36 righteous among us, right?
And they don't know it. And as long as they are stable, right, and no one knows it. And as long as they are stable, our society is stable. And now I'm going to do more research on it because as Amy was talking about it and as the rabbi had talked about it, it was so cool. And then I thought, all right, tell me more. But then they made this show and I don't think that's really.
I mean, it's definitely not you.
Oh, clearly. I mean.
And clearly it's not me. Definitely it's not me. Because I think I taught my son how to say God damn it this weekend by accident. So.
Was that after bullshit?
That was an accident from long ago. This is a new one. Now, lately he's been saying this. I told you one time already.
Oh, wow.
That's his new thing. I told you one time already.
Where did he hear that?
Must be a school thing, but he says it in anger after I tell him no. He says,
that's his retort?
I told you one time already. Yes, that's his retort.
Oh, honey.
I told you one time. I know.
He's so cute.
These men. What did you do this week? So now you know about my fun-filled weekend.
Yeah,
what
that's
did you
terrible.
Do?
So
you
before
went to see the Grays.
Well, before the weekend on like Wednesday, Thursday, I get a phone call from Stuart. He leaves for work and he calls me and he says, "Can you meet me at the kids' bus stop at the end of the street with a leash and some treats?"
That's odd. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I said. My first thought was one of our dogs got out. And then I looked to my left and I saw one. I looked to my right and I saw two more. And I thought, not ours. So I zoomed down the street with treats and a leash. And there is this adorable, but very, very strong with an enormous pair of testicles hanging almost as low to the ground. There's a pit bull down there.
A pit bull with elephant balls is what you're saying.
Yes, they were.
That's the name of this episode. Pitbull with elephant balls.
So Stuart's trying to get him, and this dog loves him. So he's jumping on him. He's now giving him treats that I had, and we get the leash around his neck. He is no collar, no. He's just. It looks like he's drinking out of puddles after a day of rain, which is really bad. That's Giardia waiting to happen.
First of all, every dog does that stupid shit.
Yeah, so
I've never seen a dog that wouldn't drink a puddle.
Right, because they don't know any better, but they're going to get sick of what's been sitting in that puddle and growing. So
true, but they still do it.
So we get him.
How can that bother you, but not them eating their own eye snot?
You want to get into that again? Because I don't think you can. You can't handle the truth.
You're okay. Moving on.
So we lasso him up, and he goes to put him in the. Stuart goes to put him in the car, and he names him Stewie. He names this pit bull Stewie after himself.
God.
And he said, we don't know this dog at all. So the dog won't go in the car. So we go to put him in, and Stuart turns to me and says, "Do you know where all the papers are for my disability? You got this? If something happens to me, I want to let you know. Do you know where everything is?" So we put him in the car.
Always thinking ahead.
Always thinking. So we put him in the car, and he drives him to the SPCA. So they scan him at the SPCA because we have a no-kill shelter here. Actually, yours too. Our SPCA, yours in Delaware, they were closing shop, and ours took over and staffed and is now running all of 3 sites in Delaware.
Cool. That's awesome.
So he goes, takes him, scan him for a microchip. He is not chipped, and it's just the saddest thing ever. He's been out there for a while, so they sent him to get neutered, and we got a call last night that he's in the Gen Pop if we would like to adopt him. Do you think we want to adopt him?
No.
I mean, we have 3 crazy-ass dogs as it is now, and
don't adopt
we can't.
him.
But we did go for an orientation, the kids and I, the next day to volunteer. So we're going to get some good volunteer hours. We'll go see Stewie. We'll take him for walks. Mallory's going to play in the kitten room for hours. And unfortunately, my kids getting into volunteering at a younger age means that I have to be there every time they volunteer.
Well, at the SPCA, yes.
Which is another full-time job. Well, until they're 16, you kind of have to be everywhere with them. Because there's insurance reasons so we will be going there Tuesdays and Thursdays and Sundays. But we're going to go visit Stewie and we're going to check him out. And I asked you earlier, or I meant to, when is too soon to euthanize a dog? I'm not talking about Stewie. I'm talking about one of my own.
Right after birth.
So you're not a dog fan either?
No, I'm not.
I really don't trust a man who doesn't like dogs.
Well, I've had the
like
dog.
is not the same as want.
I've had the dog friendliness beat out of me, to be quite honest with you. But because my ex-wife had dogs and cats, and they were ruining the house that I lived in, so I've been soured.
It is very stressful. I mean, when you have little kids, you change diapers, you see their poop, you know how they're feeling. I have to check dog poop. I mean, there are 5 beings about whom I'm responsible. I mean, it's too much. And 2 of them actually fight. I've discussed this with you before, but the 2 boys in my not so congealy pack fight all the time. I have zappers that I can use, but they don't work. So I'm kind of waiting for my 11-year-old dog to come down with a little something that we're going to choose not to either treat or I don't know. He really stresses us out. Now that you don't have dogs and cats and you're ruining your home, are you less stressed?
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's funny. I have dog shock collars that you could put on the boys, and then if any of them get out of line, you can let
so
one
they
have
have
it.
shock collars on right now, but when I hit, so there are 3 modes. There's beep, vibrate, and electricity.
Right.
The electricity really just makes him feel like somebody's attacking him, and he gets worse. It ratchets him up.
Oh.
So I put it on vibrate, and I don't know. It seems to make him more aggressive. His isn't get me out of this. It's more of a fight or flight, and if he's in fight, he's going to fight. And I've had vet bills that have commas in them because he has attacked another dog in my home. You weren't kidding when you first introduced me and said that I have part of an ownership in the vet clinic up the street from me.
I know. I wasn't kidding.
Yeah, it's really upsetting. I totally go in there and tell her, I hope your kids are excited that they can go IV now, that you are. I'm billing me for this extra special visit.
Right.
So I'm waiting. He's 11. Last night he wouldn't go to sleep. I crated them up at night, and he's standing there barking at me. So I take him outside in the pouring rain. I take him inside, barking at me. I take him outside. I take him inside. And I'm going with him, so I know what he's doing. And it's a nightmare. I'm exhausted. My head is pounding because we were, to answer your other question, away this weekend. We went to Newport, Rhode Island with 3 of the 5 Grays, friends of ours. And we got to walk around the cliff walk or some of the cliff walk and see the beautiful mansions and see, I mean, it's gorgeous up there. I am amazed that people want to walk by other people's homes. To me, that's a phenomenon that
really,
I don't know. I like pretty things.
In the windows.
We weren't that close. I mean, the cliff walk keeps you by the water and they're further in, but mansions are beautiful. I liked doing it when we were in, where were we? Where were we?
Mariah?
No. We went on a cruise and we saw castles and Mariah. And we saw, we saw castles, and that was very cool. But no, I don't. I'm always amazed that people want to go and look in other people's homes. Open houses. Are you looking to buy? No, I just want to see what's inside.
Oh, open houses.
Yeah, and castles. Yeah. These mansions. This is where so-and-so used to live, and their money went to. Oh, that's great. Can we go get some crepes? I smell a Nutella and banana crepe. Can we go get that?
Right.
That's what's appealing to me. Where can we eat? That's what all of our trips are, Jess. We travel to eat. I don't know why people do anything else. And the Greys are such cerebral people.
Isn't that a Jewish thing, though?
Well, that answers this. The Greys are such cerebral people. Wilson's question was, look at this beautiful home. I wonder what they did on this lawn. And I said, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Did on this lawn? Like,
what do you do on your lawn exactly?
I don't know what you're saying. Like, who kept the lawn? And he's like, did they play croquet? I'm like, get that? What?
Play croquet?
Stop being so smart.
Wait a minute. He's a people watcher, though. What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Or do you think he's a people stalker?
Do you think my children thought for a second, I wonder what happened on this beautiful lawn? They were thinking, let's climb this tree. I hope I don't fall. And she touched me, or Mommy, tell her to stop touching me. Like, that's what they're thinking. They're not thinking, look at this. Right. Look at this vista. What happened here at this vista? Totally different kids. Right. Totally different kids.
See, now when I'm in the airport and I see people, my thoughts are more along the lines of, you went in your closet and picked that outfit to come here today.
To travel,
And then the psychology behind it is what I find fascinating. Like, did you do that to be comfortable? Are you meeting someone important at the next stop? Like, why that outfit?
I get
fascinating to me.
But that's people watching. This was more higher level thinking about a location where you are, P.S. where there was no food. So immediately I've checked out. Yeah. I'm in it for the exercise. I told them I am walking to earn my crepe, which P.S. also we never got. It was devastating. But while we were there, we kind of crashed. Our friends were on a romantic weekend and without their kids at a bed and breakfast where I could never take kids because the wrestling they do, they'd knock themselves out on a 4-poster.
Your children wrestle?
They
each other
sometimes.
Oh my God.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it's just verbally, and sometimes it's when they do it physically, it's actually super friendly. So I do enjoy that happening, but it always turns. Stuart says it's going to go bad. It always turns, and I try to nip it before it turns, or I just walk away. So when it does turn, I don't know about that either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we kind of crashed their romantic weekend. And then again, it looks like, look, the three of us went away on a weekend when that's not how that happened. But it was lovely. It was lovely. Our kids had fun. Yeah, because again, they're of an age where I don't want you. It's a weekend. Saturday was gorgeous. And I want you outside. Go walk somewhere. Do something. We'll even give you $20. Go walk around these shops and cobblestone streets and get some fudge or look at toy. Do whatever you want to do. Just don't get in trouble and don't involve other people in your stupidity. Those are our rules in public. Mm-hmm. Don't embarrass us and don't
good rules
and don't involve anyone else. Yeah. But that was fun. Yeah. We had a good time. And yesterday in the pouring rain, we drove home. It's far. Newport's far. It's 6 hours. Oh.
Yeah. I mean, Maine is far, so it stands to reason that would be half as far.
Right. So when we make plans for something like a weekend or a week or New Year's Eve or Christmas or Thanksgiving, you can't spend 2 days in Maine. You have to hunker down. You have to plant that travel bag and stay for a while. Because that drive is brutal. We were doing Audible when we travel.
We did it for a weekend, and it was, we had each other, so it was okay, I think.
And the girl in the back seat was easy.
Mm-hmm. That was you, right?
That was me. Did I know? Did I know that was happening? John, we were driving to Maine, 3 of us.
Crit and I got bored.
And Jessica brought with her, did you bring the quarters or did you have the gas card? You had the gas card.
Both. All the money I had, John, was gas card and a roll of quarters. That's it.
Right. And Crit was I think, laundry money as well. And I fell asleep in the back seat and Crit wrote on a piece of paper, "The girl in the back seat is easy," and put it on her window. So as I wake up, I have no idea that she has done this. And all of the passengers and drivers and all of the cars around us were so friendly. And they were waving and thumbs-upping me. And I thought, wow, up here in New England, it's delightful. Look how nice it is here as a New Yorker to be welcomed. Yes, it's delightful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that is not why they were so friendly. That was not nice.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, hilarious. I'm still paying the price on that.
So, what did we decide? How soon is too soon to euthanize a dog?
Yeah, so he's not really sick.
Too soon? Wait a minute. It's too soon from birth, or too soon from when you find them, or too soon from when they get sick?
Too soon. He's not sick yet, but he's really pissing me off. And by starting fights and posturing and no.
So, as an 11-year-old dog, once it sneezes, right to the vet.
That's Stuart's theory on this dog, too, because this dog hates him. He absolutely hates my husband. And I don't
if
know
the dog is not pleasant to live with, I don't think euthanize is the right thing, but maybe not be with anymore is certainly a possibility.
How do you do that?
But can't you just
take it to that no-kill shelter?
We got him from that no-kill shelter.
Well, give him the fuck back. How long have you had him?
10 years.
Do you love him?
I love him. You love him. I love him.
Has he always been like this?
He's always been like, I think he's on a spectrum. He circles the island twice before he can go outside. He's a little spectrum-y.
You have an autistic dog.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Their brains are not so different than ours that
they're not the same.
That their functioning can
Don't
have the same.
Don't you think that puts a strain on the marriage?
The marriage, the house, the children, the raising the children, the parenting, the relationships. It puts a stress, John, on
Why are
everything.
People so? Oh my God!
Attached to their animals.
Yeah, I would have that thing put down in about a country. Wait a minute. Yeah. Is that a heart murmur? Yes, it is.
That I hear from the other room.
Right. Time for the big sleep, dog.
So he is on...
you'll be sad, but your life will be peaceful.
He is on Trazodone in the morning and Prozac at night. And it has not made a dent in this dog. No. He needs antipsychotics, not anti...
He needs whatever they put in that needle.
Listen, think of it like this. Your dog is in pain. He's had 11 good years. Your dog is in pain. It's just not the physical kind. But he's obviously in some kind of mental pain to be acting this way. If he actually is reaching out and hurting your family, he needs to be like my father-in-law had a dog that was always a little off, but then bit his stepmother, really bit her arm and he was gone. One good bite and he was gone.
So the biting he does is to other dogs, like this one other dog.
Still dangerous. And he's all right, but it's still dangerous.
Lovey with people. So here's the thing. He's like 11. We've had him, the SPCA said he was 1, which means he could have been 1 or 2. So he's at least 11 years old. We've had him 10 years.
He's had a good life.
We've given him a great life. To me, he's a ticking time bomb. Stuart said, I said, I'm waiting for something to happen. And he said, well, what if that thing is big and scary?
He bites one of the kids.
Why are you waiting for something to happen? What if he kills one of the nice dogs? You'll always feel guilty because you were waiting for this to happen.
I feel guilty about so many things. Just put it on the list. Put it on my tab.
God.
Put it on my tab.
This is something you can avoid feeling more guilty about later, though.
See, it's a shame that we're not closer and you don't know me on a more personal, because I am the Dr. Kevorkian of my family. Like when they they don't want to take the pet to that vet to have it put down. Oh, God. I provide that service.
Your car pulls up in the driveway.
I pull up. It's in the crate. I put the crate in. I take it to the vet, and they go, "Do you want to come back?" I'm like, "No, just bring the crate out," and then I leave. And I don't have any, and I have no guilt and no.
Wow, you are a heartless
when
man.
It comes to this, I kind of am. Yeah.
Wow.
And you know what? I've had plenty. Listen, I've been through this. That's why I say it puts a lot of pressure on a marriage.
Yeah.
I remember one time I bought a brand new recliner, and we had this cat that hated me. And the next morning I came down for work, and as I was down there, the cat was peeing on my brand new recliner, which I had to throw in the trash. I never even sat in it.
Oh my God.
And
God.
I said, you know what? I think the cat looks sick. It's time. And
She's one.
and I was not allowed to do anything, and I resented the cat and the missus for that whole thing. So, yeah, I mean, pets are great to a certain extent.
Until they're not.
And when they put undue pressure on a family, and, when you pick the pet over the husband, then, it's not a good thing.
Well, that hasn't happened yet. We didn't travel for a while because we couldn't leave them. And then when we board them, he's getting old, so he winds up sick for 4 days after they're boarded. But we have a friend who comes and stays at the house now with them. And I think the whole time, I hope to God they don't kill each other. And if they do, finish the fucking job already so I don't have to make a decision. Like, I don't know. If 11-year-old dog killed 9-year-old dog, they'd both be gone because, that's the decision. And we'd have one puppy. We'd have one dog left. I joke about it, but I love these dogs.
I always Scott's cat was out of her effing mind, but it was mostly, the reason it didn't get between our marriage is because he mostly took responsibility for her. Like, he cleaned her litter box. He cleaned up after her if she would pee or whatever. Like, I didn't really have to do it because it wasn't my cat. That said, whenever he was sick or something and I did have to do it, I really resented having to clean up after her. And one time, when we had hardwood floors, I got up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and slid on my own floor in cat vomit. My God. I was so angry. And I was, and you become more angry. And I was more angry at him than her, which isn't fair. That's not fair. He certainly didn't do that on purpose. But
we do get our fair share of that here, misplaced anger.
Yeah, that's
it's stressful. It's definitely stressful, and I'll admit that. So this is the first time I'm verbalizing the fact that if something were to, if his health were to take I'm ready to say goodbye to him. I'm ready. I love him, but
can you put a little borax in his?
No, I'm actually going to give him rice from last night's Chinese food. Yes, I did not make reservations, but I took takeout in with his food. I
think you should think about euthanizing him if he's biting the other dog, because it's not fair to them.
You could always have Stewie stop over for a little hour visit and see what happens.
The pit bull?
Just saying.
Like, if one of your kids was always abusing the other two, you wouldn't keep that kid around.
I would separate that kid. I wish I knew somebody who would take an 11-year-old dog.
You would do what I did. And you would make sure that child couldn't live with the other ones.
Right. I wonder if there was somebody who would take an 11-year-old standard poodle who is a love and a mush if you Facebook. Don't have any other
friends.
I used to until I started this podcast.
Podcast joke. Okay, so we have two ways we can go. Speaking of this podcast, there's two ways we can go here at this point. We can either do Would You Rather for women, or talk about Kevin Spacey.
Well, who is surprised to find out he was gay? Raise your hand.
Nobody.
Okay. I'll do Kevin Spacey.
All right. So here's what I want to know. Like, okay, so for those of you who are listening and live under a rock, Kevin Spacey was accused of sexual assault when he was 26. He's now 58. So this is like 32 years ago. Apparently young, what's his name? Alan Rapp? What's his name? Not Alan. Is it Alan? I want to get it right.
I want you to get it right.
Star Trek dude. I know the last name's Rapp. Anthony Rapp.
Right.
Who I fondly remember him from Road Trip when he was like the evil guy who was interested in Amy Smart.
Yeah.
He was like the evil, yeah. So anyway, he says that he went to a party at age 14, Kevin Spacey's apartment, which wasn't abnormal because as a child star, you just end up in a lot of adult situations.
Due to excellent parenting.
Right. Right. And then he was bored because it was mostly adults. So we went into Spacey's bedroom to watch some TV and kind of chill out. And then all of a sudden, Spacey appeared. The rest of the apartment had dispersed. And Kevin picked him up like he was carrying a bride over the threshold, plunked him on the bed, laid on top of him.
Can we reiterate? He was 14?
He was 14.
Right.
A 14-year-old boy. And then Kevin Spacey, I don't know, somehow Anthony wriggled free, said goodbye, and has been haunted and upset twisted up about it ever since. So having heard these allegations, which happened, a couple days ago, maybe yesterday or something, Kevin Spacey says, I've had a lot of respect for Anthony Rapp as an actor. I'm beyond horrified to hear his story. I don't remember the encounter. It would have been over 30 years ago if I did behave as he describes. I owe him the sincerest apology for what would have been deeply inappropriate drunken behavior. And I'm sorry for the feelings he describes as having carried with him all these years. And then basically, this has encouraged me to come out. I'm gay. Goodbye.
Right. He said, I've had relationships with men and women, and now I live as a gay man. Right.
So people are upset because they think, okay, so there's two things going on here. One, I'm deflecting being a sexual assault person because
Predator.
Guess what? I'm gay.
I was drunk and I was gay. Right.
I was drunk. And then 3, I'm not a pedophiliac. That does not even cover it. But then I do kind of want to address the drunk part. People do terrible, stupid things when they're drunk. My ex-husband used to pee on the coffee table thinking it was the toilet.
Right.
Blind ass.
Right. We have friends who did it in a suitcase while traveling because they were in our dorm room.
There are people that just fucking black out and don't know what the hell they're doing. Is it possible that Kevin Spacey is not a pedophiliac, but just didn't know what the hell was happening? And to Anthony Rapp's credit, as a 14-year-old blonde kid, could have represented a woman. No, that's a stretch. No, I'm just joking.
Negative.
I'm joking about that. Okay, I'm joking about that.
Repeal.
But repeal. Abort. But I'm saying, but don't you think do we have to call him a pedophiliac because he did this if he really was that drunk and doesn't remember? Here's what I want to know. And I know he's an actor. But so far, out of all the people that have been he did this to me, he did this to me, he did this to me, this is the best apology I've seen.
It's the only apology I've seen, and except for Ben Affleck. Yeah, he had one
but
too.
His was lame, though. Affleck's was
sorry.
Oh, yeah, I did that a long time ago. Sorry.
Right.
His was beyond horrified.
Yeah, but you know what?
So sorry.
Ben
full
Affleck
respect.
but Ben Affleck said, yeah, I did that. I'm so sorry, right? Kevin Spacey said, I don't remember this at all. And I'm so sorry.
But I'm also horrified. Right. So I think, what if he, I guess what you're saying is, but I'm saying he said he didn't remember as part of the excuse as to why he was drunk. First of all, I think what you're saying is, or what you're going to say is, it shouldn't matter if he remembers, but I think it matters to Anthony. Because I read a little bit about what he said, and he ran into him once in a bathroom, and there was no acknowledgement from Spacey whatsoever. And so he still was left wondering, does this guy fucking remember or not? I think Anthony Rapp wanted to know if he remembered. And so if he doesn't, does that somehow make it better at all?
So I think,
am I reaching?
I think what people are objecting to is the fact that of any sort of excuse that Kevin Spacey's going to use, somebody's going to find a flaw with. Using the I'm gay excuse, using the I was drinking excuse, using the I don't remember
that
excuse.
Was a deflection. Yeah.
But all 3 of those comments can be torn apart. What is the right answer from Kevin Spacey? What could he have said?
Would it have
not
been okay
to be
if
attacked?
He just said, I'm beyond horrified. I have full respect for you. I can never undo it. Should there be an inclusion of I'm going to spend the rest of my life tortured by this? Would that make it okay?
Well, yeah, that's my question. What would he have to say? Yeah. Did he know he was 14? He said he carried him over the threshold like
doesn't
a groom
remember.
Carries a bride.
He doesn't remember. Does it matter if he knew?
If you're blind drunk, can you carry a 14-year-old person across the threshold?
Yeah. Oh, please. I would like you to meet my friend Marnie, who used to black out in college. And she would drive. She would not drive, but she would have full conversations. She would write a paper. She would do lots of things I won't rat her out for right now. She would sing in a concert.
No recollection.
And then somebody would say, oh my God, last night, remember when you fill in the ridiculous blank here? And she would say, A, I don't know that person, and B, I have no idea what they're talking about. Yeah, you can black out. You can just drink till you black out, and then you have no idea what you're doing. Is it something you would never have done sober? I don't know. I don't drink to black out or to that point. I don't know.
I mean, the kid said, I distinctly remember him like trying to get with me sexually. Okay, but that might be true. But let's be Kevin Spacey just for a second.
All right.
You're blind ass drunk. Everyone has left your apartment. You go in your bedroom to go to bed and you see a person. And let's just say you're in I don't even want to pontificate what kind of mood he was in, but let's say it was like a better than a good mood more than a bad mood. And you see a slighter person for whatever reason, and maybe you pick that person up to move them out of the way. Maybe you pick that person up for funsies. Maybe you pick that person up. Maybe you pick that person up just because you don't know what you're doing. But then you realize, oh man, this guy's heavy. I'm tired. Plonk.
And boy, does he smell good. Come on, stop. He's 14.
Did he say he smelled good?
No, I did.
Oh. But what I'm saying is, like, I mean, the kid said, well, he's not a kid anymore, but like,
and he got away. Like, he squirmed out. It did not go past.
He squirmed out from under him.
Yeah, it did not go past an uncomfortable.
Away. So he didn't say we fought. He tried to put his hand in my pants. It didn't say he was kissing me. If he laid on top of me. Now, let me ask you this. When was the last time you were trying to seduce someone and by doing so, you just laid down on top of them?
Yeah, that's not my MO.
That kind of sounds like a drunk move.
That's not my MO.
Well.
Yeah.
No, you tried it. No, let's just say you are a predator. Let's think about the things we've recently heard about predators, be it Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein. I mean, whoever I can't think of. There's a few that I've read about that I've been a little shocked by. Jared Leto, whatever. Those people are
Allegedly.
Conniving, convincing, pushy, aggressive, underhanded. I mean, sounds like, okay, yes, he did sexually assault him. Yes, he did.
And I think the reason Kevin Spacey came out to say all the things he said, like, I think to Spacey's comments were, I'm not an out gay man. I mean, I used to walk around Manhattan and occasionally see him with men, but allegedly, but that's something he's been so private about. So I guess when this came out, he's also felt like he had to answer for that, even though,
like, maybe I'm too mysterious here. Let me right.
So I don't think he was saying,
like
I'm gay.
Protecting my privacy is biting me in the ass.
Right.
Let me help you guys out a little here.
Right. I don't think he's saying. Right. I don't think he's saying. This is kind of outing him officially. This isn't really.
Yes.
It's nothing he came out to say because it was nobody's business. It's still nobody's business, but the fact that he did victimize someone and somebody felt that way. I think an apology is great. I don't know that he was making an excuse like, I've been with men, I've been with women. He's not answering these allegations. He's answering wow, dude, you just fucking outed me. So I guess I'm going to have to make a comment to that. And then I'll address the fact that Anthony remembers something, A, I don't, and B, I am wholly, terribly sorry
the statement
for.
Went the other way around. It was the acknowledgement first and then the out in the tweet.
Okay.
So, but I know but still, you're right. It was kind of like, well, I better address both of these in one shot.
Yeah,
so
I don't know that he ever would have addressed the I'm gay thing. I don't know that was ever his goal to out himself. I think he's a super private person. And
his last line to this apology says, I want to deal with this honestly and openly, and that starts with examining my own behavior. It says, I know there are stories out there about me and that some have been fueled by the fact that I've been so protective of my privacy. So what he's saying is like, okay, yeah, I can see where now my privacy has
backfired,
bitten me in the ass here a little bit because everyone's swirling, and he does play these sinister dudes.
That's what I loved about him, though.
Well, and you can still love that about him.
I do.
Honestly, I don't know. Like, I am not saying one is right or the other is wrong. I just feel like in this particular case, I wouldn't call him a pedophilic. I would just call him a blind, drunk ass idiot.
Well, we had this. So what are you going to do about it? I had this discussion this weekend. There are people whose work I will never give another penny. There's no way that I will ever pay a penny to see a Tom Cruise anything, a movie, anything he ever does. He will never get a penny out of me or my family. Mel Gibson, he's coming out in a movie that my kids really wanted to see, Daddy's Home 2. They saw the first one. We loved it. There's no way I can spend a penny on paying for something that Mel Gibson has done. What's his name? The producer, director.
Harvey Weinstein?
Woody Allen. Woody Allen.
Oh, Woody Allen.
I could.
Now she's still married to him, though. I sort of feel weird about that, too.
I could never give a penny to a movie. And I used to like his movie. I could never give a cent or support anything that he does. And there are other people, they're popping up, and it's making it easier for me to have a Hawaii fund, saving all my pennies.
Do either of you watch The Orville?
Yes, I love it.
Okay.
What's
Did
that?
you see this last episode, John?
Yes, I love it. I loved it.
All right. This is what I want to refer to. Okay. So there's a Star Trek type show called The Orville done by Seth MacFarlane. It covers topics that would never be covered in Star Trek ever. Like, for example, one of the first episodes was about a planet of all men, and one of them had a girl baby, and they were going to give it a sex change at birth because no one on the planet's a woman. You can't have any female. They're all gay.
Where'd that baby come from?
Well, they can be born female, but they're turned male because societally it's not acceptable to be female.
Who had a baby?
The two guys.
Apparently, the two guys who were together.
Yeah, one of them can have a baby.
By egg. They're like,
okay.
They don't, yeah.
They hatch,
so,
okay.
Yeah, they hatch. So anyway, okay. So this last episode, they went to a society looking for some archaeologists on a planet that was very similar to what they called Middle Earth or Old Earth, which is us now, right? And it was different but the same. They had some similarities and some differences. And one of the main differences is the way their legal system and their government was run was by upvoting and downvoting. So they all wore a little badge with a green arrow up and a red arrow down.
It's like a Brazilian barbecue.
If, for example, you bump into someone, that person can hit your downvote because they're mad at you. Or if you like someone, you say, hey, how's it going? Click, you hit the upvote, upvote, upvote. So there came a time when this woman went into a coffee shop and she asked for a cup of tea, and the woman behind the counter looks at her badge, and she's got like 1 million downvotes and like 500,000 upvotes. And she goes, look at the sign, ma'am. And it says, no one over 1 million downloads can be served here. 1 million downvotes can be served here. And she goes, look, most of these are from my 20s. I'm a completely different person now. And she was like, you read the sign, get out. You've been downvoted 1 million times, get out. The woman's like 60. And she's a very nice looking woman. And I sort of like, the reason I'm mentioning it, I guess, is because like, that's kind of like what's happening to him right now. Everyone's getting to vote on behavior that he did 32 years ago when he was wasted and 26.
Yeah, I'm not the same person now that I was at 26.
He's 58. He's 20 years past us, dude. Imagine another 20 years going by and being judged by what we did in New Orleans, for Christ's sake.
Hey, shush. We're not talking about that anymore.
I'm just saying, if there was internet, my tits would be all over it from that trip. I was having a bead contest with someone. I don't even remember who. Doesn't even matter.
All of us.
The point, all of you. I had so many beads. And thank God the cameras were just film that you had to go and have developed at the drugstore.
Yeah, we would be in some serious trouble. You're right. It's not that there's a statute of limitations on something like that. It's despicable, and it has shaped Anthony Rapp's life, I guess. Life. It has shaped him. So nobody wants to take anything away from that experience, acknowledge, but
correct.
But also on the same side, opposite side, I guess you have to acknowledge that he is not that person. If he has a string of these stories where he is consistently made others feel uncomfortable or assaulted or anything like that.
Which actually might be true. I have read a few others that he needs to address.
The story just broke. So now that one person comes out and is
see what happens.
Let's watch the pile on.
Okay, but let's just say I want to address the fact that if this is the only story of this nature, or even in this particular case, I would just personally like to say that I have probably acted inappropriately to one or more people from the time I was 15 until now being 42. I may have pinched some ass where I should not have done so. Certainly not in any position of power, because
women get a pass on that, though.
I don't think you should say that.
Nobody.
You can't say that.
What? Women get a pass on that?
Yeah, I don't think anybody gets a pass.
Well, maybe because I'm like 2 years younger than Kevin Spacey.
There was a woman that was just accused of this at like
gives you a butt pinching. I don't know if it's like a big deal because again, it's a woman. It's
it's not appropriate.
It's not looked as harshly on.
What do you mean? It's a woman?
Well, in other words,
come on, John.
Like you're not afraid she's going to assault you. You know that you can fight her off because she's not as strong as you are. Is that it's correct. A woman comment?
That's correct. Yes. Like in other words, I would not be. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's a couple MMA fighters out there who would kick my ass right now.
Ronda
but none
Rousey.
of them would want to give me a cupping.
I just merged with Heather, with Heather's agency, and now I work for True Native Media. I'm the VP of Marketing and Business Development. We're hiring salespeople, one of which lives around here. I can't meet him up for coffee and pinch his ass. That is sexual assault, period. I'm in a position of power over this person. I can fire and hire who I want.
Fire and hire.
Not right.
I see your point there in the workplace.
Not just because I'm a woman.
Yeah, but not even just at work. If it's unwanted aggression of any sort, that's assault. If it's unwanted.
Well, now that's something else that needs to be addressed.
Like usually to me, an assault needs to be there has to be blood drawn for an assault.
No.
Or at least a bruising.
Now, Missy, here's the part that I have a problem with. If it's unwanted, it's sexual assault. Now, what if I was single and flirting?
Yeah. I knew you then.
What if I did have the balls to go to one of these podcasting conferences, not being single, whatever, and I was flirting with Dave Jackson or not even someone of his stature. Let's say I was flirting with someone who like just started a podcast. And technically you could consider me being in a position of power because I have a lot of contacts. I have a lot of whatever. I'm just well known in that industry.
You're flirting.
Ass, but if it's unwanted, it's sexual assault. That's what you just said.
Is it physical contact? Are you laying hands on somebody who does not want?
Let's just say I had a few to drink and I was just like, I'll help you with the editing. Do a little lap dance for me. Ha ha, just kidding. But it was in a crowd full of people.
Did it stop at ha ha, just kidding? Or did you say I'm not going to do this unless you do a lap dance for me? I just put the Orville on my Hulu.
If it was unwanted, I made him uncomfortable, right? So it is. But then what if it was one? What if I thought he liked me back? I mean, it's so gray. It can't be that black and white.
It is very gray. But if somebody's feelings, I think it's clear. What is pornography? I'll know it when I see it. It's if somebody is uncomfortable by your actions, your physical actions. You and I talked about, what about your words? Our words are our biggest weapon.
They can certainly be a weapon.
They are our biggest weapons. We're not going to hurt anybody physically, but damn, if I can't tear the shit out of you with just words. Stuart tells me all the time, I can't even argue with you. There's no point. I could be right and I would still lose because you are better at arguing than I am. And I said, yes, I am.
All right, I'm going to step in here, and this is not going to be in the podcast, all right, because I have something.
All right.
It's a little personal here.
Right back
and then when
in.
we come back, you just say, oh, yeah, maybe we should cut that out.
I think that makes people want to know what it is more.
Exactly.
Are you upset that you didn't stay in Rhode Island because they have no school, because you had to do this? Because we could have rescheduled so you could stay, by the way.
No, my kids are in school today. She had no school.
Oh.
Annie switched jobs. She's working at a school now and has a normal human schedule. And she has, I don't know, storms. I don't know what it was. They had no school today. So, well, you had Isaac home the other day for something. Oh, he was sick. So she's home now with 2 dogs and 2 kittens. She named one of her kittens Missy. How cute is that?
Missy the kitten? That is cute. Is that after you?
Yeah, I thought so too. So my kids are like, well, when we kill or Wilby dies, Will be brilliant. He will not be brilliant, just so you know. When he dies, can we each get a kitten? And I started to think about it. You're gone in 5 years. So now I have 2 5-year-old cats? No. I'm done with pets in our house. I will volunteer at the SPCA every day, but I'm done. John's right. It tortures our family. It really does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who knows what I would be capable of doing if I didn't feel like I couldn't leave the house for more than an hour and a half to keep everybody alive and blood free. It's too much. As my mother would say, it's too much. It's just too much. I do want you to give me my quiz though on would you rather. This is for women, you said? Would you rather
only for women?
Version?
Would you rather? Okay, this one is called. This is the hardest. Would you rather for anxious people? And I'm definitely an anxious person, so this should be interesting. Would you rather spend a whole day staring at a text bubble from a friend, like waiting for them to respond, or go to a party where you know absolutely no one?
I'm going to stare at the text bubble.
Same.
I don't want to leave the house. So
same. Would you rather leave your home and not be able to remember if you turned off the stove, or leave your home and not be able to remember if you locked the door?
This is an easy one for me. Stove is the worst. I don't care if the door's open.
Most people voted the door.
Really?
But I'm horribly afraid of fire.
I'm afraid of fire too. If the door's open,
stand the idea.
What's the worst that's going to happen?
Are you afraid of fire because of stop, drop, and roll education? Because I am.
I'm afraid of fire because I think growing up we knew somebody who lost everything in a fire.
Oh.
And the thought of losing. I'm a minor hoarder. I save things until
why?
I feel like someday I might need it. Someday I might not. I feel like I'm losing my memory, and to have things to help me is super helpful. But I'm nostalgic. I like having those things, but I do go through purges every once in a while. I did learn from a friend about how to preserve. You know, your kids go to school, kindergarten, first, second, third grade. They have an art project a day. And they come home, oh, that's delightful. That's lovely. I'm supposed to save all of these. So I had these big Tupperware things in the garage with kindergarten crafts and for years. And then my friend said, line up kindergarten, take the top 10, take a picture of them, and then throw everything away. So now you have a picture of their best, but in kindergarten, what's your best? Like 3 colors on a piece of paper, or I used glue and sparkles. So now where are those pictures? In the cloud. I'll never see them again, but I no longer have the weight of, we've also moved twice. So that's a good purge opportunity.
Pictures are different. I do feel like you should say pictures, but like we have stuff in our house that it's a whole nother show. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. You opened that closet to look for earphones and I thought, what else is in there? Jessica's closet, our next episode.
It's not because of me. Who, me? It's not because of me. Would you rather have a conversation with 5 different people on the phone every day for the rest of your life, or miss your alarm every morning for the rest of your life? I vote alarm because I probably
can't talk to
anyway.
5 different people every day.
No way.
I can't do it.
No.
All right, I'll miss my alarm considering, I
do that anyway.
Yeah, whatever.
Most people chose not missing their alarm. Most people would rather have a conversation with 5 people. I can't believe it.
But don't you think most people are more social than we are?
I think most people are morons. I wonder if the people who read this that's really the problem. Most people from this website may just be younger than us and can stand to talk to others. I don't know. Would you rather get a "we need to talk" text from your SIGO or a voicemail from your doctor asking you to call her back immediately?
I'd rather get it from my significant other.
Same.
Because I told you I can win an argument even when I'm wrong.
I feel strong control in manipulating him.
Yes.
But there's nothing you can do about the doctor.
1,000 times yes. I cannot talk him out of a cancer diagnosis, but I could talk Stuart into thinking that I am.
Yeah. Most people agree with us.
Totally different person.
Exactly. You know their buttons.
Yes.
I don't know what you can say to the doctor.
Nope. Nothing you can do.
Oh, this is a hard one. Oh, God, the anxiety. I can feel it riling up. Would you rather get stuck in traffic when your flight boards in an hour or parallel park in a tight space during rush hour traffic? Definitely parallel parking for me.
I already have to poop at the thought of both of these things.
I know that was a painful one.
I already have to
poop. So painful.
I would rather 27-point turn myself into a parking spot than be late for a flight.
Same. I cannot.
Because if I miss the flight, at least then I could poop in the airport for 4 hours.
First of all, option one is not even an issue because I am in the airport like 3 hours before my flight. That would never happen to me. So I leave like 5 hours in advance. The thought of it hurts my stomach. Yes. You're right. I'm getting diarrhea just thinking about it. Whereas like having to parallel park during rush hour traffic, I'm perfectly happy. It's their problem if they're not.
Right. And you can drive by me, give me the finger. That's fine. I'm all right with that.
I'm cool with that too. Most people said they would rather parallel park. So we're right on that one. Okay. Would you rather, oh God, this one is easy for me, but the idea of it still is upsetting. Would you rather sleep in a big house completely alone for a week or not be able to cancel plans for a full month? It's definitely sleep in a big house. No problems there, friends. I will sleep in a mansion the size of Montana before I would not be able to cancel plans for a whole month. I got to be able to change my mind. People.
Why can't I cancel them? Like what? Why? What's happening that I have to?
Because that's the rule.
I don't like the rule. All right, I will sleep. I will sleep all by myself.
Yes.
I mean, no dogs. If there are no dogs, I'll sleep anywhere by myself.
Completely alone.
Love it. I will sleep there. That's a gift.
Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. Would you rather, this is easy for me too, give a presentation in a 200-person lecture hall or have someone in line behind you at the cash register every time you have to put change in your wallet? Neither of those things stresses me out.
They don't bother me. Yeah, I don't care about either one of them. I guess
I would rather give a presentation.
I would rather have somebody waiting behind me as I put change in there because now I'm obnoxious about it. I'll be like, I'll take my sweet time. Clink, one at a time. Clink, another one. Clink. Can I get change for this dollar bill, please? Clink, clink.
Now, this one speaks to my anxiety. See, now I think they're moving it around based on what do people get anxious about? Because now they've plucked a nerve with me with this next one. Now I'm upset. Would you rather see two coworkers whispering to each other while looking at you or get a message from your boss that you need to come to her office immediately?
I would rather have my coworkers talking about me.
I can't even choose. Both of them are giving me diarrhea. I have no idea.
I don't have a job, so
I don't like
it's kind of far-fetched for me.
I don't want to go to my boss's office, but I don't like the idea of two coworkers talking about me and looking at me. I don't want to do either one of these. I guess the coworkers, because the boss makes me sicker. Oh, both of those make me sick. Okay. Would you rather spend an hour trying to make small talk with someone you've never met or take a multiple choice test where you can't go back to questions once you've answered them?
I'd rather take a multiple choice quiz that I can't go back.
I'd rather spend an hour making small talk because that's easy for me, even though I don't enjoy it. But the stress of not being able to look at the test makes me upset.
Well, I don't take tests that count for anything, so I'll take it. I don't care.
Well, this is assuming you do, spoil sport.
Oh.
Come on.
Who's this person I'm talking to? Somebody I've never met? Well, don't I do that anyway? I mean, I went to volunteer at the SPCA and I sat there talking to complete strangers.
Yes, you do. Exactly.
Would
you rather find something stuck in your teeth after a full day of hanging out with people or fill up your car with gas when there's a line around the block waiting? I don't care about that. This assumes you care about others.
My car. I do care about others, but when others are impatient and obnoxious, well, if you're going to be obnoxious, all right. If you're going to crawl up my keister while I'm driving and you're going to get so close to my back bumper, I'm going to tap that brake a little. I would like you to back up. It is clearly my turn to put the change in my wallet to drive on this street. Back up.
That's right. Back up, Betty.
I would be more mad at the people that I was with that wouldn't tell me I had spinach in my teeth.
I would
like, you let me walk around like that?
Are you kidding me? I would be furiously angry about that.
Yeah, that would be. What kind of friends are you?
Yeah, I would be furious. Would you rather be graded on how many times you vocally participate in class, or have to go grocery shopping at rush hour every day for a week?
Ugh. I don't like the parking lot at the supermarket in general, busy or not. I don't.
I'm so distraught at the idea of going to the supermarket. I don't have food in my house. I haven't had any for like a month, and I don't want to go.
Yeah, I get you.
I hate going.
I do have to go there today, which means I have to put pants on. Isn't it nice that you could podcast without pants?
Yeah, it is.
That's the kind of job that everybody should have.
Ain't gonna lie, it doesn't suck.
It doesn't suck. It's a great job. You don't really need pants for anything, though. I really don't even need pants to go grocery shopping if I ordered them if I thought in advance and ordered them like a normal person.
No, I have to go get lunch meat for the children. Otherwise, if I don't have it here, they get to buy lunches all week.
They do that too. At the place I go to.
Yeah, they deliver lunch meat?
Yes.
Absolutely.
ShopRite will deliver anything to you. In fact, you live in I bet you could get Instacart to deliver Wegmans.
That's where I'm going right after this.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know you just live right down the street from there, but...
Yeah. I'm also underemployed, so the fact that I would have...
I know, you're right.
I have to leave the house eventually.
You're right. It's stupid. See, I went to bed early last night, and I still got under 6 hours of sleep. I cannot win.
Hey, wait a minute. Yeah. Melissa, did you take the love language quiz with Stuart?
Oh, yeah.
We both took the love language quiz. Yes, we did.
And
it's words of praise. I'm trying to remember.
Right?
Words of praise, yes. And he's kind of tied on words of praise and actions. But then there was the one where you can take it for your kid, right? And I took it for my teen, my oldest, and his language is like gifts, and I don't want him to be that person. So now I have to drill that out of him. What?
No, you don't.
Well, I'm not going to give him a gift every time I want him. That's ridiculous.
It's not even about that. It's about, that he feels love the most when you say, look, I made you this chicken, or look, I bought you a pencil.
That's it. It's bought you this video game. Or Daddy got up at 3 a.m. to buy all 4 of us brand new iPhone X's.
All right, well, that makes him happy. So what? It doesn't make him a bad person. It's a love language. It's not supposed to be judged.
I do think it makes him a bad person. I do think it could make him a bad person.
That's not cool. I mean, can't it just be I brought you something from the grocery store, or...
Yes, I bought cosmic brownies, and he opened up the pantry, and he's like, all right, so it doesn't always have to be something with a power button. That's what you're saying. It could be something much more simple.
It could be, I got you this pair of socks so your feet stay warm. I got you some new pencils for your backpack, or, yes, but he feels love by being given stuff, even if it's like, something you make, or it's just, that's how he likes to feel appreciated, is by being given something.
Okay, I'm on it.
What about Mal?
She's a language girl too.
Yeah, words of praise. So for her, you just need to butter her up.
Yes, I do. But then again, everything is, you said it about Ethan, like it doesn't have to be a new iPhone. For her, it can't be it's everything I'm trying to teach her not to value, which is you're so pretty. Yeah, I think you're beautiful. No. But there's so much more to you than that. So let's go by, wow, these are such great grades, or...
You're great job. I'm really proud of you. You did that so well. I love how you do this.
That's what I learned being a teacher, how to give praise that doesn't tell your kids that they're the best. I really like how you thought about that question before you answered it.
Yes, exactly. You're such a good helper. You're so thoughtful. You're so nice to your friends. You answered the phone so promptly. It doesn't even matter. Stupid stuff.
Yeah, I'm real good at stupid stuff.
I think my Isaac is one of those too, because he behaves better when I'm kissing his butt.
Well, I think that's age appropriate too.
Probably.
I love the way you helped me scrape those carrots. Good job.
I like it so much better when you don't throw your food.
Oh, I saw those pictures you put on Facebook of him dirty and then him clean.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
He is Scott's son.
Yeah.
If there was ever a doubt anywhere.
He was not happy. No, there's never been a doubt for sure. Such a pisher.
Sweet boy. Sweet boy.
Yeah, he is. All right. What else is there here? Having to complete an assignment with your boss staring over your shoulder the whole time, or having to spend an entire week with your significant other's family who you've never met before.
Oh, they're both so stressful.
I've done the boss one, so I would pick that. You never know what you're getting with someone else's family, though.
For a whole week.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll take the...
Mm-hmm.
I don't know them. I'll take the boss. I mean, if it's your job, let's assume that you know what you're doing.
Let's hope, right? This is the last one.
Okay, I'm ready.
Would you rather order first at a restaurant for the rest of your life, or only have one day to do your yearly holiday shopping for the rest of your life? Oh my God.
Do I have unlimited money? And a driver?
Let's assume yes.
Do I have a driver as well?
Yes. Do you need a driver? I would do it all online. I do this already.
I would do it online.
I do most of it on Black Friday. I spend every penny we have on Black Friday from home.
Or Cyber Monday.
Oh, yeah. Should I wait for Cyber Monday?
I mean, if you can get the deals on Friday.
At home. You can most of the time. But then sometimes they come out with better Cyber Monday things. It throws me off.
So you have to pick your one day. I could do all the shopping online. No worries.
Yeah, I think I could too.
In fact, it's my preference.
But I don't care about ordering first either. I always know what I want. No one else ever does. No one ever knows what they want at a restaurant. I always know what I want.
So I usually know what I want, but by the time everybody else finishes ordering, I think, oh, that actually sounds good too. And the last thing you want is food envy when all the dishes come out.
Why do you care? I don't even care.
Really?
And this is the part I don't understand. People get this is a source of anxiety that you're going to wish you had ordered something else. A person who can literally go out and buy food and does anytime they want. How could that possibly, as soon as I had enough money to buy food whenever I wanted, wherever I wanted, this stopped being a problem for me. Like if I was going out to a restaurant once a year, then maybe I'd place some anxiety on it.
That's true. I'll order something different next time is your theory?
I'll come back for lunch, for fuck's sake. Like what? Yeah, like you could go back whenever you want and get something. Right?
My solution is if there's ever a braised short rib on the menu, I have to order it.
Yeah, for me, it's more like a New York strip. If there's a strip somewhere, that'll have my name on it probably.
Yeah, I can't say no to a short rib.
I don't like short rib.
Oh, my God.
What do you like about it?
It's delicious. It's the time people take to make it. It's full of flavor because it just sits in its own filth for so long.
Filth. Like a bath.
Exactly.
Like short rib bath.
Exactly. Meat bathed in its own filth for ever. It's flavory. Yeah, I love that. And it falls apart in your mouth. And now I'm hungry. I hope you're happy.
Me too. All right. Well, then it's probably time to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Hold on one second. I have one little thing I would like you guys to take a look at. If you look in Trello, at the very bottom, I put a little tag in there that says, would you send this to a friend? And I just want you to go in there, click it, and then go to the website and see what you think.
Dig at your door. Do. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I cannot take my eyes off of it. Something's very wrong with me. It's Dick at your door.
Oh.
It's
wow. Yeah, I would send that to a friend for sure.
Enter your email below, and each month we'll award a free chocolate dick to one of our subscribers. Well, I'm going to enter my email right now because who doesn't want a chocolate dick? Oh, there's a drop. Damn it.
Gotcha. $25. Send a dick.
Now, is that expensive for a chocolate?
No. For a big
I guess it
chocolate?
Depends on how big it is. Does that include shipping?
I don't know. You're probably paying for the packaging.
Okay.
I guess they don't have white chocolate.
Did you not get the humor? Did you not get the humor of you saying, I guess it's the packaging?
I didn't even get that. Pun not intended.
Dick
at your door. So there's
a
fart in a jar. They also have farts in a jar. And for $4 extra, you can upgrade to a handwritten card that says, I just want you to know how big of a douchebag you are. I took the time and money to send this to you. Go fuck yourself.
Wow.
Love, Anonymous.
Does it have to say eat a dick on it?
Yes, that's the point.
No.
You know that they have they have sites that will send people shit, like poo on your doorstep and stuff.
Yeah, there's a potato. Am I making that up? There's one that's send a spud or something.
Yep.
Ooh, and there's currently sold out.
There's also ones that will glitter bomb whoever opens the thing. And I know this makes people angry because my mother was in the hospital after having cancer surgery, and her younger brother's girlfriend gave her a greeting card full of glitter because she thought it would be nice and pretty, and it got all over the hospital bed, and I thought my mother was going to kill her. She was so angry.
Terrible.
I mean, here she was trying to do something nice.
It never goes away.
It did not go well.
The charity cock is sold out, so apologies, no pink box. Jess, who would we send this to?
Eat a dick?
To whom would we send it?
I don't know. I don't know. So many people.
I can't, who in your life? John, who in your life would you send this?
Eat a dick. Who would I send?
That would have to go, one, I would go to my ex-wife.
Dude, you are not paying attention. She is cleaning your house and cooking for you. Sending her a chocolate dick is not the way to go.
I think that would be, well, first of all, she likes chocolate. And the second of all, I think she would think that this was funny.
I think some of my ex-clients, probably, who were jerks to me.
The Jimmy might get one of these. That's my cousin.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe my ex-husband.
So it's a negative thing, is what you're saying.
I wish I could send one to Emily, because that's really who would enjoy it.
Yeah, probably.
Because she would both be highly amused and highly insulted, which is really what you want in a recipient.
Jessica, would you send one of these to Elsie?
I would.
I know you would.
If I got angry at her, probably.
No, but I mean, does it have to be angry? I think this is kind of a funny thing. Like you get
No, I don't think you send somebody a box that says "eat a dick" unless you're annoyed with them.
Oh, then never mind. Then I don't know anybody I would send it to.
Wait a minute, but see, you know how much Elsie likes chocolate.
There's so many other chocolate things you could send, though.
I know, but maybe it's me. Maybe the humor's lost on
Is it lost on me or you?
Yeah, I think it's lost on you because it's like you love chocolate. You know you're going to eat this.
You love chocolate. You love dick.
Okay.
Eat a dick.
Except for...
Especially in the pink box.
You know that there are probably chocolate dicks out there that don't say eat a dick on them. Hold on. Let me find one. Now I'm actually going ahead and Googling chocolate dicks. Don't anybody ask me what my Google history is.
Google
okay.
Searches now.
Here's a basket full of teeny weeny peenies. Here's a large lollipop, foil wrapped teeny peenies. They have tons of these that don't say eat a dick on them.
Does that go for $25 worth of chocolate dick?
No, these are $6. It's like Etsy for $6.
They should put a hand next to this eat a dick so we get some kind of perspective. Like, how big is this?
Yeah, you're right.
You should put a
because
hand
here's one that
to
says, here's 8 inches of dark chocolute cock.
One in the hand is worth.
Right.
This one has some fondant cream coming out of the top. Ew!
Are you still on Etsy?
No, I'm gonna put it in
You're
Cast
dirty.
so y'all can see it. I'll put it in Cast, not in.
In
No, I'll
Trello.
put it in Trello. Sorry. Yeah, hold on. Here, I'll comment on John's thing with my. Oh my God, it's really indecent.
Dick at your door. I mean, if it's something you're mad about and doing it, then no, there's nobody I would send it to. But
each cock has a double filling. The lower part is filled with a fine chocolate fondant that has a sensual texture, conceived to melt in the mouth. The upper part of the handsome member is filled with a sensorial treasure, the color and texture, which is remarkably similar to a real man's fluid, with the advantage that these
holy
boast
shit!
a range
Look
of
at this
different
veiny
flavors. Son
member.
of a bee. I know, but look at the next picture. That's liqueur. Now this I would send to Elsie. This is a gift, not an insult.
Wow.
What do you think, John? John, are you okay?
No, I'm just Oh yeah, I'm just trying
John, are you okay?
I'm
What's
trying
happening?
to stay out of this. Well, I'm a little jealous.
You're trying to stay out of it. You brought it up.
I understand
This
that.
is
I was
your
just a
doing.
little conversation starter for the two of you to see how you would handle this, and
all
would you
right.
send
I
it?
would
Who you
definitely
send it
handle
to?
this, John. I would definitely handle this.
I could handle it well.
I would
mean,
handle
it also
it.
could be. Couldn't this be a toy that you use at
I
home?
think it could, but wouldn't I? Yikes!
The filling comes in 6 fruit liqueur flavors.
Yum.
There you go.
How much is this thing? I can't find where to buy one.
I don't know.
I don't know is the right answer.
Let's
Chocolate
see.
Factory. Now they're working on chocolate boobs. That's bad.
Depends on who you're talking to.
I mean, would you want? I mean, I don't think men are so excited to drink breast milk out of any boob,
Okay.
much less a chocolate one.
Vomit.
I don't know what that is. That has to be
Breast
some kind
milk
of
or
Yiddish.
vomit?
Oh, vomit.
Vomit.
I thought that was a Yiddish word.
Yes, for I'm going to vomit. That's fucking disgusting.
There doesn't seem to be a way to buy this chocolate.
Yeah, I'm
dip.
trying to click
I'm
on any
disappointed.
picture or anything.
Disappointed.
Sorry.
All right, I think you have to go. There's a United Indecent Pleasures is probably the place.
Here's one on eBay.
Wow.
Chocopenis.
Okay.
No, I don't
that
think
sounds
that's
painful.
chocolate. Oh wait, it is chocolate. Here, another comment going in Trello.
We're
It's an eBay item for $7. Now that's a steal, and they do have a chocolate one, not as veiny as the others.
I think the veiny
Ugh.
was a little turnoff.
No. This is not good. This is not good.
You don't like the eBay one?
I don't like the eBay one.
You don't?
No.
Why's that?
I don't like it.
Wow.
Wow, that's a lot of stuttering.
Yeah.
Oh, but if you go to the other pictures, it's better.
The other one is so realistic.
Which one did you have first?
Ah.
The pink
You think
one
that's
or
gross?
the black
Wait till you
one?
see this one. Oh,
I don't mind the black
God.
one.
Oh, you didn't mind the black one. Okay.
We're
Just
cutting
checking.
all of this out, yeah?
I don't know.
No.
We're looking at pictures. Pictures are the worst pod ever.
Oh, that's kind of true.
Well, we'll have to post them.
You'll have to be in the show notes.
These are very realistic. I don't know how I feel about this one here. Look at these.
Please don't let
Especially
anybody
the
check
boobs.
my search.
Good God.
The boobs are so weird. Like they really took time to fucking
I want to know who posed for this one.
chisel that out.
An old guy.
I think my ex-boyfriend.
An old guy.
Holy cow.
All right, so
I had an ex-boyfriend that was curved like that. I always had to sit sideways.
okay, so to recap,
Just
To recap.
kidding. That was a joke.
my children, if you're listening to this, shame on you.
They're not.
I told you
Not
you're not
allowed.
allowed.
Are they allowed?
No,
That's a shame.
it is a shame.
What
Nonetheless,
makes you think they want to?
$13. Oh, set of 5 chocolate pieces.
Yeah, you got a boobs, vagina.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Now you said Ethan wanted gifts.
This
Maybe
is not
the
his
way to go.
This is not the love language I want to share
Here's
with
the
my
first
son.
pair of boobs you'll ever touch, E. Well, that we're assuming.
Oh god, I'm
Right.
gonna vomit. Vomit again. Style. Select a style. Dark or milk chocolate. Definitely dark. Definitely.
The darker, the better.
The sweeter the juice. Why did I feel the need to say that?
That's for what is that for? Cherries?
Oh my
That's for something else. Darker the berry, the sweeter the
That's
juice.
it. That's what it is. That's what I
That's
meant.
what it is. That is what it is.
That's what I meant.
Oh, God.
All right, I think it's time to wrap it up now.
Yeah, I definitely think we're just past
Thank
wrapping up.
you for that.
John, cut all of this out.
No,
All of it.
You guys are the best.
All of
Don't
it.
cut it out. Melissa.
All of it. I had
can't
to
cut all the good
sit
parts out of the
sideways.
podcast.
Start with I had to sit sideways.
That was me just being funny.
You being honest.
I have had curvy ones, but I don't recall having to sit at a different angle.
Okay. I'm glad we cleared that up. Now you can keep it all in.
I also had one that was backwards.
Do 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 do.
It curved away from him like Gonzo.
Oh, like Gonzo's nose. Oh, Gonzo.
It was weird.
Let's talk
That
about
was weird.
on our next show. What's in Jessica's closet and your favorite Muppet? Everybody, think of your favorite Muppet.
and Dick's shaped like Gonzo's nose. Da, 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 da. All right.
I have to go clear
Thank
my
you,
search
guys.
history.
Yeah, same. Thank you guys so much for listening. Please check us out, reservationspodcast.com. You can also check us out on various social media channels at reservationspod. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much, Melissa.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.